Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
I'm Carl Stout.
I'm Omar Guerrero.
And we're here to cover, that issue. Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon number 6. The series is finally finished. I'm glad I didn't hang up my Heart of the Dragon poster because I had that feeling in my gut that it might go to crap, and I didn't imagine it would get this bad. So... Sell your copies on eBay, folks.
You might find this funny, but I just bought an entire run off of eBay for cover price.
Not this, though, right?
Yeah.
Why?
This one?
Because
I thought you had the other issues.
Four out of the 6 issues the guy had was variants I didn't have.
Yeah.
And buying a variant by itself with shipping is like $11.
Yeah.
And I got the whole set for $24.
So Rebecca's not here. She didn't want to be, and I don't blame her. She did leave feedback though. None of us, I think, want to be here or talk about this. This is like, Last Jedi level, probably worse actually. And that took me 2 years to get over. So. Iron Fist Season 2. If you thought that was bad, you ain't seen nothing, kid.
Season 2? What are you talking about? Season 2 was good.
What,
No.
no? Yeah, I'm with Omar. No, what are you talking about?
I like Season 2.
I liked Season 2 until Daddy got benched for the rest of it.
Until episode 6 to 8. Or 7 to 10, something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Okay, I thought it ended on a high note.
It did, the very ends. So...
The last 2 minutes was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
The only one.
And we'll never get a follow-up to that last 2 minutes, which sucks. But anyway, so... first I want to thank our patrons, Carl, right here, and... Ray, obviously, and also Derek, relatively new patron. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, thanks heaps. So we're at that point where a little bit over what I need right now, but we're not up to what I need to get everything back together. So I might do a giveaway of a digital issue at some point. I'm not trying to work out how to do that though, because I think it's a country thing. I don't know if Australia can give to the US, but we'll keep you posted. Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon 6. I think everyone's kind of read it at this point, so we're just going to go through it like normal. So we got 2 covers. One with Okoye on the front and Danny in the back, and one with Danny in the front and Okoye in the back. Art-wise, they're both good. They're both well drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were.
There's obviously the issue of, the normal cover not having Danny front and center, in his own series, but, in terms of art, it's good. In fact, the art in the whole issue is good. That's the takeaway, that this artist was wasted on this absolute garbage. Writer, Larry Hama, now hated by every Iron Fist fan on the planet.
Dead
artist,
to me.
Yeah, no.
I burned my G.I. Joe comics.
I hope you did. Piss on the ashes. David Wachter is the artist. Niraj Menon is the color artist. Again, shout out to the colorer as well. VC's Travis Lanham is the letterer. Billy Tan and Lena Jin are the cover artists. Takashi Okazaki and Edgar Delgado is the variant cover artists.
That's the better one.
Yeah, we cut to where we left off last time. The giant ghost dragons attacked. These great names like Ghost Dragon and Spider Dragon. Not lazy at all. Shao Lao the Undying, Ghost Dragon, Spider Dragon. Great stuff. So they're all fighting it. Pei, like, so, I went back, I didn't reread, but I skimmed through Immortal Iron Fists. Pei hasn't lost her Iron Fists, as far as I know.
Yeah.
She should have it.
Mm-hmm.
Which comes to our first really big issue with the issue. But we'll get to that.
Oh, there's so many problems with what just happened, what goes on.
Yeah, it's not even
this issue.
It's not even just the stuff at the end. It's like there's so much before it.
There's even issues I have with Pei, but we'll cover that when we get to the big debate. But it's not
Pei.
It's not her having it. We'll get to it.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do have a huge issue with what Danny is saying in page 1.
Okay, go on.
Well, first, they're all attacking the dragon. And am I the only one who read the first yellow square as the bad Fu Citadel first?
I did not read it like that.
And I'm like, bad Fu? I'm like, oh, wow, never mind.
Yeah, he should have just called it Ghost Citadel. You know.
So, she's going, the dragon is impervious to all of our attacks. If we can't defeat it, all is lost. And Danny responds with, Okyo, you have to direct the full brunt of the chi through your spear and strike where the dragon's scales overlap. Wouldn't that be the strongest part where its scales overlap?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be you should be looking for where the scales are separated?
I think what he meant to say is where the scales are overlapping, there'd be a weak point underneath. I just don't think it was said.
In between.
Yeah. So he should have said look for the little gap between the scales, but you know, it's
Oh yeah.
Hey, she's vomiting spiders. That's awesome.
That's all that matters.
There's green mist.
Spider vomit.
Yeah, the immortal weapons are there, just looking cool and doing nothing of importance, I guess. So they keep fighting. Dog Brother gets beat up again. Because that's what he does best.
Well, she sees the spot, she strikes the spot, she sees the scales shatter. She said, I shattered the scale, but I didn't penetrate it. Danny's like, that's okay, I'm going to follow up with the full force of the Iron Fist in the same spot. And he nails the dragon, and it does nothing. And we've seen Danny take out ancient dragons with one shot.
Yeah, I think one was like nearly 10 times the size of Xiao Lao, and he defeated it.
Yes. The dragon strikes back by swiping its tail, sending the weapons and Pei flying. Gork flies to her rescue, covering her with dragon slobber, which she says fixes her right up. The dragon takes to the air, which causes some issues, and Okyo is saying that they need more power. They need it has too many dragon hearts in it, so it's too strong. So they look at Gork.
This was my first major gripe when they're like, oh, we need Gork's dragon heart. It's like, well, haven't we already been through this? Killing Gork to give someone power in his debut, you know?
Yeah.
Kill.
Resurrected.
Yeah, Gork got resurrected. Like, kill Gork to give Okoye extra power, but Pei already has Gork's power. But I guess Hama forgot, even though Pei got that power in her debut. You know? You fucking moron. But anyway.
Pei got the powers from, wasn't that from the chi that was coming from the residents of Kunlun? Wasn't that where it came from? Her powers?
Yeah, there was that, but it was also, I'm pretty sure it was also Gork.
Yeah, when he was born from the egg, she had it strapped to her back. That's why she has the symbol across her back.
Yeah.
Which also makes no sense, but... Alright, the brand
at least
on
it
Danny's
works for the
chest...
story, you know? But...
The brand on Danny's chest is a scar.
Yeah.
It is a scar from him shutting off the power that was flowing through the atmosphere from the dragon's heart into the cavity of the dragon's chest. By blocking the hole in the dragon's chest, which was shaped like that dragon, the dragon died, or didn't die, but whatever, he is undying. That form failed because he cut off the power, scarring his chest. The scar has nothing to do with the power of the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Because the first Iron Fist from 1000 BC doesn't even have the mark.
Oh, let's not even talk about the 1 million BC.
And the fact that everyone now, between Pei and later her, Okyo, get the dragon brand makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at Living Weapon again, and when Danny kills the fire god, all the chi energy explodes, and Pei has the Iron Fist. But that being said, like, why does Pei specifically have the Iron Fist there? But that's another thing I'm just going to keep skimming to refresh myself.
And also, from, again, going back issues where we're talking about the whole Iron Fist / Phoenix combo, the Iron Fist is a power that's in the universe. And Danny is just granted access to it.
Yeah.
It's really not something that he just has in himself. Nor is what Pei has. She has access to a power that is like a river running through the universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like the Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force is also a strong power, and it is the yin and yang of one another, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, what also goes on later makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. No, it's... yeah.
I think what Danny has is a diluted version of the Iron Fist now, because he's lost it so many times and he's gotten it from different sources now that, if you were to make a story out of this, you could actually make an excuse for why stuff are happening to him and why he keeps losing it and stuff, because he basically doesn't have the original chi powers that he had. He's lost it a few times, and like in Brisson's run, remember he got the power, the chi powers from the
the other people
the
on the
guys
island.
he fought the island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't that unlock the Iron Fist back within him, though? Like, it sort of kick-started it.
Yeah, possible.
Like, it's been a while since I've read Ed Brisson's run. But, like, I don't think that's the case, that he has a diluted thing. I think it could be used to justify some stuff, but,
yeah. When we write Iron Fist someday, Connor, we'll do that.
Yeah. But still, like, killing Gork again,
Mm-hmm.
And Pei's Iron Fist is just nowhere to be seen. Someone mentioned that she lost it, but I looked everywhere. It couldn't find anything indicating that she lost it. So...
Yeah, I actually searched through the entire series again and looked at every panel. She never once used it.
In this, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
And I looked through Contagion. She was using it on the cover, but I don't remember her using it in the actual run. But she didn't do much fighting in the run.
Yeah.
But she has like a sort of superhero outfit, But I guess she doesn't here. And Luke doesn't really do anything this issue. He just gets knocked out by that dragon. Like, Luke had that cool moment where he knocked out Brenda the last issue, but like he's a lot of this is like, why did anything happen? So they keep fighting the dragon, and then
I do say Gork takes it like a man.
Yeah, but like,
I really like his look here.
Gork's already died. Why did we have to do it again?
Gork is the true hero. He don't even flinch.
Yeah, so Gork gives his powers to Okoye because for some reason she gets every dragon power and not any of the other immortal weapons or candidates in this. Hell, give it to Luke. You know, that would be cool. Like Luke with the power of 8 dragons. But yeah.
We flipped back to our world to find Mr. Wormy Pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently can reverse time and explosions
And then
rebuild
I'm wondering
the
here,
portal.
which one exploded here? Is it Rand Tower or?
Who even
Yeah, the
cares?
one.
Like,
I think it's the machine, right?
Yeah, it's
The inside Rand
portal
Tower.
in the portal in the basement of Rand Tower. He blows it up so he can't get back to them. But apparently he has the power to reverse that.
I just wanted to make sure that Fu didn't sacrifice the employees of Rand Tower there.
then we get
No, he just blew up the machine in the basement. That's all.
Okoye with the dragon brand on her head, and as Carl said, that doesn't really make any sense. Because, yeah, all the other Iron Fists have gotten it from the dragon, which is why it was funny reading about some of the Iron Fists, like that kid who had her on the side of his face. It's like, man, that must have hurt, you know. But, so, yeah, and then Okoye, the great hero of Iron Fist, charges up her spear with all this dragon chi and takes out the heart of the dragon. And everyone's in awe. She did it. The blind bards will sing of this surely, and she's on fire, majestic. And then a portal opens, Fu comes out, then the big kahuna comes in, who's just has no interesting things going on. Kind of cool design. Great artwork throughout all of this, again, I will say. Then all the zombies come out. And
the Baofo temple opens, and the zombie armies start to march.
And Danny then is like, you're wrong, we have this. And then he gives her the Iron Fist, because he can do that, apparently. When I saw this,
magically swiping her hand across his chest like she was a credit card.
I was already pissed off at the Gork and Pei thing, and then when this happened, I'm like, this is this is an absolute. Is he having a laugh? This, so yeah, he gives her the Iron Fist, and he's like, the heroes and I will deal with the others. And she's like, you're a true hero, Danny Rand. And Danny does what he does best with all the other immortal weapons. The greatest warriors of the heavenly realms hold off zombies like they've done for the past 6 issues. Hey, where's Taskmaster? Where the hell's that Taskmaster rematch? Where's my martial arts in my martial arts comic?
Echo.
Lady Bullseye.
Remember we thought, oh, hey, Harmon did martial arts at one point. Maybe he'll put martial arts in the comic. Lol. She fights the big bad, and they just keep the zombies at bay. And Okoye is just brimming with reasons to be there, and and I'm not dissing on Okoye. Like, I don't find her interesting, but this is like my only exposure to her, so that's probably not a good starting point. But Rebecca was telling me that people who liked Okoye, thought what they did in the comic to Danny was like, so, which I think everyone thinks, really, except one guy, but, big boss fight, she kills him, with the spear, with all the, Dragon Chi of Heaven and the Iron Fist, and then Brenda's like, no, and big explosion. We should talk about Brenda too when we get to it. The zombie army turns to stone, collapses. The sun is rising. The Ghost Dragon's corpse is dissolving. Okoye defeated him, and then she releases the hearts of the dragon. And they return to the heavenly cities they were plundered from. So the dragons will come back, is the idea. And, Brenda is blind now.
It also looks like her hands are cinders.
Yeah. She was not
Yeah.
protected from the blast by the Dragon Chi as Okoye was. And so, as we mentioned before, Brenda wasn't like this in her last appearance. She wasn't gunning for Danny Rand like this. I guess things can change, like they kind of did with Davos, but I don't really understand what her purpose was in this run.
No.
She never provided really a threat. Like, she took the Dragon Heart, but she didn't even fight Danny. You know, like, she got knocked out by Luke, and now she's blind, and it's like, hey, there's also another blind warrior lady, the UT, Sparrow, who doesn't appear in this. She might have something to say about
interesting thing.
the champion of Kunlun just giving away his power.
She should have been here.
You know, hey, we still need a champion of Kunlun. Remember that time you rode that dragon and saved us all? That was pretty cool. Larry Harmon didn't, obviously, but yeah, Dog Brother's going to kill her. Iron Fist stops her. And then the Quan Yi, I believe, comes back, her ghost, and surprise, she's not dead. And the Gorky New is no more, but he's turned into an egg, so Xiao Liao's reincarnated.
Again.
And, you know, like, at least Okia's, you know, she's like, oh, I'll give the Iron Fist back to... Time to return the Iron Fist to you, and Danny's like, that's not the way it works. And I was just like, what? Why not? Remember that time the hand stole your chi and you got it back? Remember all the other times you lost your chi and you got it back? Like, why doesn't it work this time? Oh, it's because Marvel and Larry Hama want a new Iron Fist. And this is a really transparent transition that's... anyway, I'm gonna have a stroke. So mad. It's so fucking stupid and idiotic, this writing. Like, it's the most transparent piece of... Like, it's... I'll get to my closing thoughts when we're done, but yeah. So they...
I just love the fact that you begged me not to swear, and you've dropped like 70 F-bombs since this has started, and I have not sworn once.
I couldn't help it. I can't help it. It's that bad, you know? Like, and... So...
I thought the week... since it's been a week since this was done, you'd be less emotional by now.
Yeah, I cooled down till I started reading this crap again. And they're in the heart of heaven. Okoye walks up. The UT's nowhere to be sighted. She walks up to a little girl. I don't know if that's Pei, holding a thing to put the egg on, and the living weapons are there, and Iron Fist and Luke. So no UT.
Again.
And, you know, Okoye says, as the power of the Iron Fist was passed from the dragon, Shayla the Undying, I return that power to the essence that will one day be Gork the Undying. Okay. And thus the circle is complete, and all is in balance again. And Luke is like, I don't care if your fist is no longer a nightlight, you're still my bro, Danny Rand. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? And he's like, live it to the fullest. And it's like, argh! Right, look, you guys can go for a bit.
The end. So,
the end is not the end for us.
I mean, so one of the many things that annoyed me, right, is I remember when we covered Ed Brisson's 2017 Iron Fist, when you got to the end of that run, Danny had finally embraced being the champion of Kunlun, and he saved Kunlun. And I remember when we recorded that, I'm like, that was a character moment like 40 years in the making. You know, he has become the Iron Fist. He's finally embraced his destiny. Kunlun is cheering him on. The UT is like, yep, and he can go back and forth between Kunlun. That was supposed to be like a new era for Iron Fist. You know, we get to see him, like, do his job, you know? Like, kind of embrace that side of his mythology and have him kind of be a superhero for Kunlun. And, like, that's just been forgotten, because Danny's like, oh, I was never that good at Iron Fist anyway. I don't know, Danny, your list of accomplishments compared to previous Iron Fists is pretty impressive. Like, since when has he not been, you know, like, why does he say that? I wasn't all that good at it in the first place. You know, it's just...
Yeah.
This must be how Hal Jordan fans felt when he turned evil and killed everyone for like 20
Oh yeah.
years.
Oh yeah. I'm a Hal Jordan. I'm a Hal Jordan fan. I just really hated what happened to him.
Yeah.
But this happened to all my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Green Lantern movie tanked, and the Iron Fist Netflix series was about the same. So
Yeah.
I think I'm the bad egg here.
So another thing is, right, so if you want to do a send-off for Danny Rand as Iron Fist, why don't you give him, like, something to do? Why doesn't he at least fight the villain before he gives up the Iron Fist?
Yeah, there's nothing heroic about it.
Yeah, like, I mean, passing the torch can be done. Like, it can be done well, and it has been done well. Look at Barry Allen and Wally West. And Danny didn't fight the big bad. Okoye did, and Okoye doesn't even keep any of the powers that she has. So her presence in this story was like, it could, as Rebecca said, it could have been anyone.
Yeah.
So Danny just sort of sits back, holds off the zombie army. He doesn't fight the Hierophants. He gives away the Iron Fist, and then he says, I was never good at it. And that's your send-off for Daniel Rand as Iron Fist for, like, nearly 50 years now. This character. Maybe John Byrne will save us again. Maybe he'll start writing Namor and Iron Fist will get the Iron Fist back in that. And he was like, man, yeah, this is a plant person. Who was telling me that? They're like, this is plant Danny Rand again. So, the real Danny Rand's in like a pod somewhere.
Yeah, I'll accept another plant Iron Fist just to get this out of the way and get our Danny Rand back. Can I comment on the statements again?
Yeah.
So
go.
I'm actually I'm writing a blog as my review for this series. So I go at length, and just before I publish this, I want the folks here to hear it. So when Danny said that's not the way it works, it's yours now, and anyway I wasn't all that good at it in the first place. Here's what I wrote about it. This statement is so out of character for Danny, completely baseless and utterly contemptible on so many different levels for Iron Fist fans.
Yeah.
First, Okoye did not go through the trials to become an Iron Fist and cannot just accept that responsibility. I forgot actually that Pei went through her own trial already, so that was my issue with Pei before. And then I reviewed Immortal Iron Fists. Okay, so that's the one with the S. It's a digital first series from Marvel. She did go through a trial, and that's how she earned her brand in the Immortal Iron Fists. And so Danny knows better than to just give the power away like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so secondly, there's no rule, that I know of, that I remember, that says she was supposed to keep the Iron Fist after she received it. Okay? When he said that's not the way it works, I mean, when did that ever happen?
Yeah.
Giving away the Iron Fist was never how it worked before, and anyone with a basic understanding of the character's origins and subsequent retcons ought to know these things. Third, even if it was proper for Danny to give up the Iron Fist, he should have at least, respectfully asked Okoye if she wanted the responsibility. You have to remember she's a member of the Dora Milaje,
Yeah.
and she has a responsibility to Wakanda, and he didn't even give her the proper respect that she deserved, for somebody of her stature. Fourth, Danny gave away the Iron Fist so nonchalantly that he seemed indifferent to it, as if it wasn't important to him. In Ed Brisson's Iron Fist 2017 run, a depowered Danny Rand was so downtrodden and desperate to regain the power of the Iron Fist that he went with a stranger to an unknown place just to get it back. I mean, this is the Danny Rand that we know, somebody who considers the power of the Iron Fist like it's almost like his wife. Now that when it's lost, when it's gone, when it's not with him, it, gets him depressed. He doesn't like the fact that he doesn't have it,
Yeah.
and he wants to get it back. It's the same thing with Chris Claremont and John Byrne when they wrote practically the epilogue to the first Iron Fist solo series, when Davos took the power of the Iron Fist from him. He was willing to sacrifice his life just to get back. Okay, so
Well, back in those days when he had his power sucked out of him, wasn't it literally killing him?
Yeah.
Davos, yeah, it was killing Davos because he was using it for his money.
No, when it was taken from Danny, Danny was pretty much dying. He could barely stand up on his own.
Yeah, he could barely stand. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, and then fifth, why would he think that he was not good at it? I mean, where did the melodrama come from? There was no setup for it at all in any of the prior issues, nor even at the beginning of issue 6, that would prompt the reader to think that Danny was tired of or having self-doubts. It was a shocking statement that reeks of the Netflix series doubting whiny and wimpy Danny Rand. Thankfully and honorably, Okoye rebukes Danny, telling him of her own responsibilities, and we know what happened. She returns the whole thing. So now we have Gork the Undying instead of Shulao the Undying. So basically, this is the meat of my argument for how wrong that statement, that conversation was between Danny and Okoye. But I'd also like to give Larry Hama a bit of the benefit of the doubt here, in the sense that she said, Marvel they came to me with an idea, and we hashed it out and refined it over lunch. This is what he said in the interview that I did before the start of the series. He said it was Marvel who had the idea. So I'm thinking this is it's like they had a plot ready for Larry Hama, and then he just needed to flesh it out.
Yeah.
And do it his own thing. So I think Marvel has actually made up its mind that they want a new Iron Fist. So maybe it's because of the MCU. I'm not sure, but I think Disney has a lot to say about this.
This is, one of my big issues with this is just the contempt it seems to, Marvel is showing its own fans. This feels like a comic written for people who don't like Iron Fist. It's people who like Iron Fist fans, they like Danny Rand.
True.
Very. So, if people, the furthest you get is people who are like, oh, Iron Fist is a cool idea, but Danny Rand's lame, but they don't go out and read the Iron Fist comics or anything. They probably just watch the show. So, all of us here on this podcast, we buy every Iron Fist issue that comes out. You guys buy every appearance that comes out. We're showing our support because we love Iron Fist and we want to have Iron Fist books keep coming out. And this just seems like they're just treating their fans with contempt. Iron Fist fans are a loyal and niche fan base. And this is what we're getting. This is how little you think of the people who support you. It's just kind of a spit in the face. Who is this written for? It's not written for us.
Definitely not us.
They just, and as you said, I've put a lot of trash on Larry Hama, and I stand by it because I think the writing's sloppy. Even if it's Marvel's idea that they want a new Iron Fist, you can do a send-off better than this. But yeah, I've felt Marvel's hands in this, absolutely, because I read your interview on Omar, and Hama's like, oh, Marvel approached me, and, then this happened. It's so Marvel just wanted a new Iron Fist. And the other thing is, Pei is supposed to be Danny's successor. Danny's been training Pei. They live together. and he doesn't even acknowledge her in these conversations. And like there's obviously the fact that they forget Pei even has an Iron Fist, which is a big thing. And that's the other thing, like, what about, like, Danny training Pei is something I really wanted to see more of.
Yeah.
You know what I would have been fine with? Like, proper send-off, and if you don't kill Danny, make him, like, the new Thunderer, you know? I think that'd be a really cool character arc. Like, he takes up the role that his father figure had, and he trains all the future Iron Fists, like... but that's really, like, going into fan fiction speculation territory, but it's just an example of, like, something that would be in character and that's been kind of set up. You know, Pei even calls Danny Thunderer.
Yeah.
You know, just something consistent with the lore, and, like, Sparrow not appearing at all and stuff. It's just... I really... I think that's what bugs me the most, is... as I mentioned, all of us Iron Fist fans, we love Iron Fist, we love Danny, and we're giving Marvel our money to read about it, man. They're just, like, this is their show of appreciation. We stuck by Danny during and after the Netflix show. You know, we stuck by him for as long as we've been fans. I bought a Nintendo Switch, I saved up for it, and I bought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 just so I could play as Iron Fist, you know. So yeah, thanks Marvel, this was great. I appreciate it. This is a nice, you know. Yeah.
There's so many ways that they could give Danny a send off. If this was going to be a send off series for him, they could have done it more. You know, it could have been more heroic. Could have been done less messy.
Yeah.
It
felt very rushed.
Yeah. It was very...
It's like, okay, Danny, yeah, go over there. And that's the other thing. It's like, so... Is Pei going to be the next Iron Fist now? That's something I, like... if she was, I would take issue. Because they haven't done it properly. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if Pei's the new Iron Fist, I'll be cranky because they didn't do the transition properly. You know? Like, so... I
haven't exhausted everything that they can do with Danny.
No, they haven't. Like, as I said, like, that end of that prison run was like the beginning of what felt like a new era for Iron Fist. And we never saw that explored. We never saw him doing his day job, you know? Like, I guess, like, this was the closest. And, you know, the presence of... Let's talk about the other characters. So, Fu got stuff to do. Like, he did stuff throughout the run. I'll give him that. But the other immortal weapons, they were just there, like, for that sake. Like, you know, they're all supposed to be as formidable or on, like, the similar level to Danny, right? But they had such, like, a small supporting role in this.
That was pretty much everyone that was introduced in this.
Yeah. Because I remember...
I mean,
yeah.
Sunspot and the girl from Japan there. What was her name?
It was Radiance, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guest appearances were completely pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like...
expect a whole lot more.
Iron Fist, the 8th city, like, all the living weapons had to work together and do stuff. It was a team-up, and in this... It was less of a team-up and more, you know, Okoye just comes in and does everything while these guys just, you know, sort of hold the line. And, like, especially the Amazing Man, John Ahmad, Prince of Orphans. What the hell? He's a powerhouse, you know? He didn't really do much. If he's involved, you know, generally, you'd think he'd have a big role, right? Like... He's kind of their leader. But anyway, so does anyone else have, like, thoughts they want to get into before we go into feedback?
Not really. Other than this was 6 issues of weak sauce.
Yeah. 6 months, $60.
I'm just praying to God This is not Marvel doing the whole woke thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be due to the reception of the TV show. But again, if they're doing that, then they're appealing to people who aren't Iron Fist fans. Which is like, you're misreading your market here. People who buy Iron Fist comics are going to be Iron Fist fans.
Yeah.
If they do an all-new Iron Fist series, then all-new Iron Fist, sure, they might get some casual interest in the first couple of issues, but, they're not getting money from me again.
I actually started my blog before, ahead of creating the social media pages.
Yeah.
Because of how bad Danny looked in season 2 of the Netflix series. I mean, I was so I did not have an outlet. I did not have means where I could, post something lengthy and just release all of my frustration. So I started a blog, and then the social media pages just followed, because I wanted the fans to see how cool Iron Fist is, and that he's actually a top level character for Marvel that's just been untapped. So I would do the Iron Fist Friday. I don't think I've ever missed a Friday of doing that. Just to explore a lot of the good stuff about Danny, and let him know a few small things about Iron Fist. Sometimes I just talk about my collection and the Iron Fist Friday, but basically the point was to make him look cool to other people, and I thought I was actually getting there. I even had a friend who bought the first appearance of Iron Fist. He said, I think I bought this just because of you, because of how passionate you are about the character. So, I think it was working.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who was who also bought an Iron Fist. I think he bought an Iron Fist digital card, from the Topps Marvel Collect digital card game.
Yeah.
Just because he got influenced by my passion for the character, So, I was thinking, it's working, people are liking him. And then this comes out, issue 6 comes out, and it's like, now we have to do our work all over again. We have to promote Danny again and the Iron Fist again. It's really cool.
Yeah, because we want more people to appreciate Iron Fist, by reading his stuff. So we have to kind of go, hey, you should read this stuff. It's pretty good. And that way, more people can get into the character. We have more people to talk to. The Iron Fist community is generally pretty good. They're all in agreement over this, at least, as opposed to the Netflix show, which is like a civil war. But yeah, and reading all these comments on this issue, they're all negative. Not our feedback. This is just comments on a website, and they're all negative. They're all, you gave Danny the shaft. Why does Marvel hate Iron Fist? Why did you need to do this to Iron Fist? If you're going for you don't want Iron Fist to be white, you already have a large martial arts character with Shang-Chi now, so, but I'm going to get into some feedback. I don't have a Zippo cap, Carl.
What's clicking?
It might be my mouse. Don't know. Sometimes weird noises make it in. But, yeah, so I'll start off with... Why don't I start with Rebecca? Because she is our co-host.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see.
Do it!
I am just scrolling up to her. Because she said it to me in chat, so I'm just scrolling up through our chat.
You should have had it printed out.
Yeah. No, well, not printed, but... Okay, well, that's... well, you guys keep... What... okay, a conversation topic while I find this. A lot of people, a fair few people do think that Danny will just go back to being Iron Fist in the next run or so.
Well, again, in the newest issue of Avengers, Danny's fighting a bunch of people using an Iron Fist.
Does that really mean anything, though? Like,
Not really, but let's be honest. Other writers could just completely ignore this.
yeah.
And I think they should.
Oh, absolutely, I'm down for that. This never happened. It's funny because the past few Iron Fist runs we've gotten were good, so there had to be a fall at some point, and man, this was a massive fall.
And here you go.
Okay, let's see. Alright, here's from Rebecca. I'm probably more up for status changes than most, but this was poorly done. To move the Iron Fist from Danny and Pei in a mini-series where Danny doesn't even get to be master of the final fight is pretty weak. The treatment of Brenda, especially the blinding, was in poor taste and mirrors Sparrow, who was a better character. Are all Danny's exes going to go blind? It's just excessive. I think we were all pretty happy with Pei's Iron Fist and training status, and I feel we've had it ripped away. Sure, maybe Gork becoming the Undying means he's there and ready for Pei, but sure just felt like a goodbye to both characters. I don't hate Okoye, but I don't see why her and not Sparrow, or even a random new character. I don't even feel angry, just let down and disinterested. Actually, pretty much how I felt when they retconned Misty's pregnancy, just as we got an interesting new dimension for Danny going forward. Only way they really could have made this feel better was an announcement of a new Iron Fist series with some indication of what goes next, but for now I might just go read Immortal Iron Fist again. Art and colouring were only positives for me, and seeing the other Immortal weapons who were also wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she said more as well, but that was just us chatting, so I won't read that. But yeah, agreed. Again, like...
Don't even get me started on the whole pregnancy thing, because that would have opened... I mean, Heroes for Hire, Daddy Daycare. That would have opened so many stories.
Yeah, and it's...
Two best friends raising kids together. The possibility, not that it couldn't have been done in the past with the other Iron Fists, but the possibility of a child being born with its link to the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Could have opened whole new possibilities. The fact that the child would have been of mixed race would have been another... I don't even know what the term to use here, but all encompassing with what's going on.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. It's just... He's been pooed on a lot, let's just put it that way.
And so...
Things were in the works that would have been awesome that got pooed on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like what you were saying before about him becoming the Thunderer, I would have had I think it's a good idea, but I don't want to get rid of Sparrow either, so maybe him just retiring and taking a step back and marrying Sparrow and them being the Thunderers who train, and maybe he trains the men and she trains the women, or vice versa.
Sparrow's the UT now, though, so...
Oh, that's true.
She's not technically the Thunderer.
Yeah.
Her father was the Thunderer.
Yeah. So this is from this is Carlo Torres, friend of the show. He runs the Iron Fist page, just the Iron Fist fan page. It's been around for ages. Mm-hmm. And he says, so yeah, give this one. He posts an image saying his definitive review for Iron Fist: Heart of the Dragon by Larry Hama, and it says, "No, thank you," with awful stuff. He's quoting a TV show. Then he says, so yeah, give this one a miss, and instead just reread The Immortal Iron Fist by Brubaker, Asia Foreman, and Fraction, or Brisson's 2017 run, or The Living Weapon by Kerry Andrews, or Phantom Lin, or literally any other run, including the Netflix series. Do not support Heart of the Dragon. It's a slap in the face to Iron Fist fans everywhere. So, yeah, don't support this book. I mean, I'm going to have... Yeah. I've unfortunately already purchased 6 issues physically. But
I don't even want to discuss how many issues I bought, and I'm still missing a couple. Now,
everything.
Now, the one thing I will say is, which I find rather funny, is Larry Hama has actually stopped advertising that he's even working on this book since issue 2.
Wow.
If you go to his own Facebook page, there is no mention of this book whatsoever since issue 2 came out.
I got the impression he didn't care about it that much from the interview. You know. Yeah, so I'm just going down to our feedback thread. Feedback from Andrew Nicholas. I hated this issue. I actually hated this series. No rematch with Taskmaster. Off-screen deaths for immortal weapons. And that ending was insulting. But the art was good. This is Iron Fist Clone Saga.
Yeah.
And, you know, then there's more feedback from Carl Torres responding to that. So many missed opportunities for a forced plot detour with Okoye that just wasn't needed. Now, Okoye is fire, but her loyalty to Wakanda made her part in this story to be utter nonsense. They would have just used her to motivate Danny to update and expand his training to include Wakandan arts, or have her do her part in the battle and then let the title hero be the title hero. Yeah, we gotta remember it's called Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon. They could have shown Taskmaster as a sort of corrupted immortal weapon, or similar for Brenda, or done a bit to get Shang-Chi more involved since he's got a movie coming. But no, it was just an excuse for Harmer to shit on Rand. And then feedback from Brandon Shea. It definitely hasn't been Danny's best run. Half the time he felt like a side character. The story had some odd retcons with the other living weapons being alive after I was pretty sure most were killed. And I just don't see how Taskmaster or Okoye could take Danny on in a fight, but they seem to pretty easily. I can see how Taskmaster could, because this guy did fight the Avengers. But no, I get your point completely. About the living weapons dying, they did die in Defenders, but they did get brought back in the same run because they went back in time and stopped it from happening. So good run though, that Defenders run, Matt Fraction. And now I'm going to our Twitter feedback. Let's see. So I'll just go to my discussion thread. Oh, I'm on the wrong Twitter account. You know, let's go to Iron Fist podcast. Thanks heaps for the feedback, guys. It's good to know we're not alone in our feelings. We're not just angry people yelling at this guy. Everyone's upset about it. So I'll just go to my discussion thread. There we go. Okay, so feedback from Rick. Don't pronounce your last name, sorry, because I can't see it on Twitter. I just see Ramen Lord. Honestly, I was surprised at the ending to Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon, how it basically felt like a series finale to the character of Danny. Can't wait for the future of Iron Fist mythology and whoever takes over the mantle. Overall, I was a big fan of Heart of the Dragon. At least someone was. At least I know one person enjoyed it. So, and then we have feedback from Natch. I'm so angry. I wasn't completely enjoying the comic since it was super rushed, but then at the end I understood. It was made purely with the object of killing the Iron Fist character for good. And I'm furious. Killing him could be fixed in a Marvel universe, but returning his powers to the egg will deprive us from another Iron Fist for years. And WTF with Danny saying, all chill, I wasn't that good with it, and now I can enjoy life. WTF like WTF, God, I'm so mad. Feedback from Christopher Shelton. Disappointed by the ending. High point was getting the first issue with the Gabrielle Delotto cover. Feedback from Reese Wallace. I really didn't like this comic. Why can't Danny just be allowed to be Iron Fist already? And then feedback from Iron Fist eBooks on Twitter. Wachter's art continues to impress. I'm glad Brenda is still around. Recurring villains are an essential pillar of superhero comics. Okoye was the Iron Fist is a bit of fun trivia I get to bring out at parties now. Seeing Danny in his ceremonial clothes was great. That's about it. Unfortunately, the book just wasn't very well written. I wish I could pinpoint the one thing which let it down rather than book not good, but sometimes a book just isn't all that good. It's a true shame, but hopefully a future book can come along and tidy up the mess left behind. And I think there might be a bit more. This might be the most feedback we ever gotten, except for Iron Fist Season 2, which I ended up not reading out because we got too depressed and didn't do it. But which I wasn't going to let happen with this, because this is too big. Too big. Let's go down. Just double check. I don't have any more feedback. Right. Yeah, I believe that's it for feedback. I think everyone's summing up the feelings pretty right, you know. As I said, these are all fans. Everyone here likes Danny Rand, and if you like Danny Rand, you're in for a good time. If you hate Danny Rand, A, why you're reading this comic, B, you know, you'll be happy, I guess. So yeah, I think we said everything, really, unless you guys have anything else to add.
Not really.
I think we need to hear from Carl more.
I think we might have beat Carl to the punch a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. Just disappointing.
It's yeah.
I wouldn't have had a problem with him stepping down or passing it on, which I was already under the impression that was happening with Pei. And this not only destroys him, but destroys Pei.
Yeah. And yeah, as I said, even if Pei's made an Iron Fist, they fucked up the transition. Like, you know, so it would still be bad. If Iron Fist did step down, I'd still be cranky. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I could acknowledge if something's well written.
True.
Which this wasn't,
True.
You know? So, yeah, well, I'm glad it's over with. You know, yeah, we're just gonna go back, to old Iron Fist. Good stories. You know?
And not so good stories, but fun nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, stories where at least he's Iron Fist.
Yes.
So,
I'm actually doing the, at least I'm trying to, I think it has to depend on the post though. So, I'd like to keep the conversation going for this one.
Yeah.
So I started a hashtag, if you guys are fans of Iron Fist. So I started a hashtag. I couldn't decide on which one to use, so I just used both. So it's hashtag Justice for Danny Rand and hashtag Justice for Iron Fist. So if you want to comment on the book or on the series, please use that one. If you didn't like what happened to him, so that, you know, I plan to write Marvel, so I'm going to include that hashtag to them for them to look for it and see what fans on Twitter and other social media sites are saying about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, show your support. Like, if you're not happy with how, you know, you're kind of being treated as customers, then, you know, show your support, show negative reviews, because that's how the world works. That's how you get, you know, people to hear you. So, if you're not happy, save Iron Fist, or Justice for Iron Fist, Justice for Danny Rand, you know, hit up Omar, because he wants to contact Marvel as well with, like, a list of, you know, feedback and, but yeah, in the meantime, our plan's moving ahead. We are going to, I want to do the next 2 issues of Power Man and Iron Fist, because in 2 issues there'll be Daredevil, and we'll have those crazy guys on again, and then we will be finally going to Phil's request and something Carl's wanted to do for ages, the 90s Heroes for Hire series, which I am looking forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, so thanks guys for coming. You know, I'm glad you guys are here, because if it was me by myself, would have died halfway through, I think. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, yeah, until next time, you know.
Well, I guess we won't have an Iron Fist.
Yeah, until... He just broke Omar then. Until next time, there is an Iron Fist. His name's Danny Rand, and go read some of his good stories. You know, just forget about this new one. And if you're not happy with it, then tweet about it. But like, tweet intelligently. You know, give reasonable feedback, but you know, let them know that it wasn't very good. Because I think Marvel needs to know that people do like Danny Rand. If they look at sales for Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon 4, They're probably all from people who like Danny Rand. Every single person who bought that comic. So, yeah. But yeah, so, peace.
Later.
Bye. See you guys.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon. Our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast. Our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are. Our YouTube, Connor Carl. Just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. I'd like to thank Thomas Tissot for composing the Iron Fist theme song we use at the start of our Iron Fist episodes on the podcast. I'd also like to thank Peter John Sikowski for composing the Power Man and Iron Fist theme we use at the start of our Power Man and Iron Fist episodes. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.